Hello everyone, welcome back to the Destiny beta, and this time we're going to be playing, well, it looks like we're going to be playing the level 3 story, although apparently we can go on ahead to the level 4 story for some reason. Whatever. Here we go. So, for people late in, I am playing as the Warlock class because I have already played through as the Hunter class, and it was a 50-50 between the Titan and the Warlock, and the Warlock sounded more interesting.
There are reports that the Fallen back at the Cosmodrome are keeping a pretty tight guard on the old Skywatch. Could be one of their leaders, or it could be something valuable. The speaker's asking Guardians to look into it.
Alright. So, I mentioned my story complaints earlier. I'm really hoping they'll do something to make it feel more like a...
on the other side of the steps. And it's surrounded by Fallen. Well, I'm ready if you are.
I'm hoping they'll make it seem more like a space epic. Anyway, yeah. This is very helpful because it usually drops you in the middle of this area that's very, very large. So, we can't really do a whole lot over to the ones that are over there. Hopefully I won't run into some other players who decide to crash my solo party. Also, I don't have my heavy weapon equipped and I just tried to equip it. So that's not good. I try to get more precision kills, but it doesn't always work out. So yeah, you don't get your vehicle that you can summon pretty much at any time until I think in the next chapter. So that's something that you should keep in mind.
This place must have been amazing before the collapse. Thousands of humans boarding the colony ships, off to build cities beyond.
Yeah, that was my glide apparently, which apparently also doubles as a little. It can get you a little bit of a height boost apparently. With the Hunter, it's a lot more of like a short boost with a jetpack from Halo.
Up the hill, the building with the radar. That's the Skywatch.
You can actually get some pretty decent height from the double jump from the Hunter. Also, apparently you don't have to hold the button to get that little glide boost. So, anyway, onward. Oh, yeah. Not a huge fan of running across this. I mean, we went through all of this and we ran into what? One group of enemies at the very beginning. That's another complaint I have, is that these areas are pretty big and open, but there aren't a whole lot of enemies in most of the places. There are some places that have a good number of enemies, but it's like one or two areas, and it's mostly the indoor areas that have the enemies. I guess the explanation story-wise for that is that they tend to like the dark more, but I don't know. It's kind of, it bothers me a little bit. There aren't more enemies in the map. And also, what enemies are there respawn way too quickly. Alright, so right away you get some level 3 enemies, which is a bit different. Ah! Come on. I know you're not a huge fan of dying. Aha! Well, the ragdoll animations in this game are pretty funny. I know they're not huge fans of the whole dying thing, but come on now. Eat shotgun. Well, that did something. I don't know how I feel about the shotgun so far. The sniper is pretty good for getting damage. Even shielded enemies tend to die in 2 hits to a good sniper. That's headshots. Most enemies die in 1 headshot. But the shotgun seems to be a bit weaker for its range.
This was one of Skywatch's old array stations, a link to the lunar colony.
So, let's continue. Oh, respawning restricted already. Oh, right. I remember this place. Uh-huh.
Dead end. Fallen sealed this gate.
Oh, right.
I can get it open.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm not like I said before, I'm not a huge fan of the mission structures. Because the missions are extremely linear, but they also have the open areas. So it's like they wanted to try to get both in the game, but the result is that neither one comes off as particularly great. Although it is pretty cool to see how your area...
What is this? Lots of motion ahead. I've got a bad feeling about this.
As I was saying, it's pretty cool to see how the areas you go to are connected. I have no idea what this stuff is. Pretty sure it's just a 2D. I'm pretty sure that those are 2D and not 3D at all. And they have like a thick outline. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's how they were able to get the game to look as good as it does and still run fairly smoothly on the older consoles. Is they use a lot of 2D artwork.
The Hive! They're already here!
Thralls! Ah, crap. So, what kind of game would it be if it didn't have zombies? And Thralls are basically zombies. They're kind of like the Left 4 Dead horde. There aren't quite as many of them. But if you don't have an automatic weapon, they can be a pain. Even the burst fire weapons I find are actually okay at dealing with them, but that's because they haven't thrown any ridiculous numbers at me so far. Shotgun would be useful, I guess, now that I think about it. Anyway, I want to go this way. Something I did notice is that you can usually see caves throughout the maps.
There's a wizard here. You have to kill it.
And that's where you will see the enemies respawning from. They'll come out of the cave. And sometimes if you go into the caves, you'll find that they're a lot longer than you would think. And they usually have, they'll usually have these long passageways with really tough enemies inside. Like, you'll find enemies that are much higher in level than the level cap for the beta, which I thought was pretty neat and surprising. Yeah. So you can see that this rifle is doing pretty well. And as I mentioned, the new weapons you get don't really amount to a whole huge increase in power. So usually it's just like an extra level or two you'll get. Also, I just noticed that the melee attack for the warlock is got a bit more range to it than the knife for the hunter, so that's a bit of an imbalance. So there's the quote-unquote boss for this area, who is hiding. That actually was a pretty well-placed grenade, I have to say. Shit. Okay. So I need to... Ah, great. I'm dying. I'm probably gonna die here. That's embarrassing. Nope. Okay. I am okay. He is still alive, but I am okay. So, I do like the wizards a good bit more than the a lot of the other special enemies that are just... Why am I... Oh, right. Poison. You can make poison clouds. That's something I forgot about. Pull the shotgun. Alright. So yeah, that's the end of the mission. Took 10
The Hive
minutes.
haven't been on Earth in centuries. The darkness could be a lot closer than we think. We should probably get moving.
So something I noticed, actually, that doesn't quite match up with this is that the Hive and the Fallen fight. The two of them fight. It's like they're enemy factions. They hate you and clearly hate humanity, but they also don't seem to like each other, which kind of is making me think that there's gonna be an explanation for that down the road. So maybe there is hope yet. There could be going somewhere with that, like the Lambent versus the regular horde in Gears of War. But that's just my hopes. Also, I picked up an auto rifle that I didn't notice. I probably should have equipped that. Oh god. Go ahead and equip these for now and get rid of my old boots. I'll equip those whenever they're ready. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to the tower again, because I think I picked up another engram. And another one of these lengthy loading sequences. I'm not a huge fan of the loading. I'm probably going to end up cutting out most of it, but there was one bit of loading earlier that was at least over a minute long, I'm pretty sure. That was kind of ridiculous, I think. Also, didn't you just do loading? Why are you showing this? Bungie, if PS4 is your lead console, I'm pretty sure that it can render these environments better. They literally, I think, made it so that the load times between the PS4 and PS3 and Xbox 360 and Xbox One would all match up, which is pretty ridiculous. They wanted to give the same experience, quote unquote. That doesn't mean you should drag down your more powerful weapons, or the more powerful consoles with, for the sake of making them... You shouldn't drag down the more powerful versions just because you want to deliver the same experience on weaker versions. What's the point of having your lead be the most powerful console if you're not going to take advantage of that power for that version? So, yeah, that's my big beef with it. Alright. So, you are able to pick an item that will increase your defense, I guess, in exchange for warping claws? Ah. That was something I got from a defeated thrall. I'll go ahead and take the one that gives me higher defense. Also, these ridiculously powerful defensive things from level 20. Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and I don't know if I have any. I don't think I have any engrams. So yeah. Yeah, I don't have any engrams. So I'll just have to wait on that. Yeah, so that's an uncommon piece of armor that is actually going to level up, and you're going to be able to give it attributes as you go through the game. Excuse me, hiccups. But anyway, that's about all I have to show for this episode, and yeah, I'm gonna move on. Maintain the tradition!